Hi, it's Chris, and I wanted to just sit down and talk directly to you about something that I'm noticing, and that is theory versus skills. So, whether you're in IT or even cybersecurity, especially programming and other fields that are very hands-on, there's two areas that sort of are disjointed, and if you bridge that, you help really bridge what's known as the skills gap. And what I'm talking about is theory versus skill. So the theory portion is needed, right? They're both needed. So the theory is what essentially introduces you into what you're studying and gives you those concepts. But the problem is a lot of times they are theory. So in other words, something such as, let's talk about the CIA triad, right? Confidentiality, integrity, availability. Those are theoretical concepts that are really used to create much of what you actually implement within cybersecurity. But the thing is you don't really go and implement confidentiality. If you think about integrity, you can't really just implement integrity. You have to know all the tools and actually have the skill to do so. And the same thing with availability. You can walk around saying, oh, well, availability is important. All right, well, then how do you do that? How do you actually implement that availability? And that's where the skill comes in. And what I'm doing is I want to bring this to your attention because as a hiring manager myself, and I've spoken to many others, what we're seeing in the field is a lot of people are getting certifications. They're doing a lot of these courses that are theory based. And the problem is that they are not building the necessary skills that you actually need to work in a professional environment. And that means knowing how to implement something for confidentiality, how to actually implement permissions. That means going into, let's say, a Windows server and applying permissions, creating groups, applying those groups, locking things down, maybe writing firewall rules to only allow certain IP addresses to communicate on certain ports. The list goes on, right? And these are the types of things that you actually have to be able to do and develop your actual skill. So if you are getting the cert, well, that's great. That means you've been introduced to these theories and you probably can speak to them from a theoretical standpoint. But are you able to actually apply and show an employer that you have the skill to go and implement the necessary safeguards? So as you're moving through your career, it's really important that as you base and you learn the theory, that you start to apply and build your skill set. So that's something that I want to share with you because it is at the core of my program that I will teach the theory and then immediately we dive in and you get hands-on. And the difference is I actually build out the projects so that you build them end to end so that you learn that theory as in the same light that you would actually apply in a professional environment. And that means not just understanding the theory into a single task, right? So I'm not, for example, just telling you to set a permission on a folder and then that's it, right? No, it's actually you're building a server, you're creating the folder, you're putting data into the folder, you're creating the groups, assigning users to those groups, assigning the permissions, and then you're checking and validating the permissions. So really taking all the steps because that is what you do in the real world. You don't just do one single task. And this is what employers are looking for. They want you to be able to take the theory but work through end to end. Yes, even at entry levels. So if you're interested in building your skills, check out the link below to my program. Excuse me, it's highly affordable. I can't recommend it enough that a lot of the people that are going through it are finding their success because they're walking out with the actual skills that employers want. However, if you're in a different program or you're even studying something different, then that's what I want to share with you is make sure that you are building the skills that take what you're learning from that theory and allow you to apply it in a professional setting end to end. That's really important. If you're not doing that, what you're going to find is you'll walk into interviews and they're going to say, oh, you don't really have the experience, or maybe you're missing the actual skill sets that we're looking for. So make sure that you're working to meet the requirements that the employers have so that you can land your position. So the good news is that while the requirements for entry levels are a lot higher, so are the resources to actually meet those needs. But if you're not getting hands-on, if you're just reading the book and you're not actually on a keyboard building things out, implementing them, then you might be missing something. And it's really important that I share this with you. So again, check out my program if you need help and you're just not really landing your job, or you find that maybe your skill set's not where it wants to be. My program was created to get you there. So make sure that you check that out. Otherwise, make sure that you also subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to drop a lot more videos that are actually going to start showing the skill, and you can follow along. Now, they won't be as in-depth as my program, but they'll still have enough content that they can help you out. So make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.